It was midnight. My daughter was 3 weeks old. I was 3 weeks postpartum, still bleeding, still healing, still learning how to keep a tiny human alive. And my husband opened our front door and said, "Get out." Not, "We need to talk," not, "Let's work this out," just, "Get out, take the baby, leave." I was standing there in my pajamas, holding our newborn, and the man who promised to love and protect us was throwing us out into the cold. Why? Because his mother told him to. I had no car, no money in my pocket, no plan. Just my baby in a diaper bag. But what Derek didn't know, what his mother Brenda didn't know, was that this would be the worst mistake they ever made. Because when you force a mother to survive, she doesn't just survive, she thrives. This is my story. My name is Jasmine. I met Garrick 4 years ago at a friend's barbecue. Derek was charming, funny, attentive. Derek said all the right things. Derek talked about wanting a family someday, about building something real, about being different from other guys. I believed Derek. Why wouldn't I? We dated for 2 years before Derek proposed. It wasn't fancy, just Derek and me in his apartment, him nervous as hell, me crying happy tears. Derek promised me a future. Derek promised me forever. I said yes because I loved Derek. I said yes because I thought Derek loved me too. I didn't know Derek's forever came with conditions I'd never agreed to. I got pregnant 6 months after we got married. We were happy, or at least I thought we were. I was excited. I read all the books, I nested, I planned, I dreamed about what our little family would look like. But Derek started changing. Derek became distant. Derek stopped touching my belly when the baby kicked. Derek stopped asking how I was feeling. Derek was always on his phone, always somewhere else mentally. "Everything okay?" I'd ask. "Yeah, just stressed about money," Derek would say. I believed Derek. I was so focused on growing our baby that I didn't see Derek pulling away. I didn't see Derek calling his mother Brenda every single day. I didn't hear Derek complaining to Brenda about me, about how pregnancy was making me difficult, about how Brenda's concerns about me were valid. I just focused on staying healthy, on preparing for our daughter. I had no idea what Derek and Brenda were planning. 2 weeks before my due date, Derek came home with news. "My mom's moving in to help with the baby," Derek announced. Not asked, announced. "What?" "Derek, we didn't discuss this," I said, trying to stay calm. "She wants to help, Jazz. She raised me. She knows what she's doing," Derek said defensively. I should have said no. I should have put my foot down. But I was 8 months pregnant, exhausted, scared about labor, and part of me thought maybe having help would be good. I was so wrong. Brenda moved in with 4 suitcases and took over immediately. Brenda rearranged my kitchen. Brenda criticized how I'd set up the nursery. Brenda made comments about my body, my choices, my readiness to be a mother. "You're so young, Jasmine. Motherhood is harder than you think," Brenda would say with that tight smile. "My son needs support during this transition," Brenda would tell me, as if I wasn't about to push a whole human out of my body. Derek never defended me. Derek just nodded along with whatever Brenda said. Derek became Brenda's son again, not my husband, not my partner, just Brenda's little boy. Our daughter Amara was born on a Tuesday. Labor was 17 hours. Derek was there, but Derek was on his phone half the time texting Brenda updates. When Amara finally came, Derek held her for 5 minutes before handing her to his mother. I should have seen it then. The first 3 weeks postpartum were hell. I was bleeding, I was in pain, I was learning to breastfeed, I was waking up every 2 hours, I was healing from stitches, I was crying from hormones and exhaustion. And Brenda? Brenda criticized everything I did. "You're holding her wrong. She's crying because you don't know what you're doing. Let me show you how a real mother does it." Derek said nothing. Derek just watched his mother undermine me while I was at my most vulnerable. When I'd ask Derek to support me, Derek would say, "Mom's just trying to help. Don't be so sensitive." When I'd cry from exhaustion, Derek would leave the room. When I'd beg Derek to tell Brenda to give us space, Derek would say, "She's my mom, Jazz. Show some respect." I was drowning, and neither of them cared. It was 3 weeks postpartum, midnight. I just finished nursing Amara. I was exhausted, in pain, barely functioning. I came out of the nursery, and Derek was standing there with Brenda behind him. "We need to talk," Derek said. My heart sank. I knew something was wrong. "What isn't working?" I asked, confused. "You, living here. My mom says you're not bonding with Amara properly. You're stressed and it's affecting the baby. My mom thinks it's best if you leave for a while," Derek said. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Leave? Derek, I just had a baby. Your baby. Our baby. I'm her mother. I'm breastfeeding her. Where am I supposed to go? I said, voice rising. "Figure it out, Jasmine. You can come back when you get yourself together," Brenda said coldly. I looked at Derek. "Derek, you can't be serious. Tell your mother she's insane." But Derek just looked at the floor. "I think maybe it's for the best, Jazz." That's when I knew. I knew Derek had chosen Brenda. I knew Derek had never chosen me at all. "Get out," Derek said quietly. "Take Amara. Go." I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I just grabbed my baby, grabbed the diaper bag, and walked out into the cold midnight air with nowhere to go. I called my best friend Maya. It was 12:47 a.m. Maya answered on the first ring. "Jazz? What's wrong?" I couldn't even speak. I just cried. Maya heard Amara crying in the background, and Maya said, "Where are you? I'm coming right now." Maya found me sitting on a bench 3 blocks from Derek's house. My house. The house I'd helped pay for, holding Amara and shaking. Maya didn't ask questions. Maya just put us in her car, drove us to her apartment, and set us up in her guest room. Maya made me tea. Maya held Amara while I showered for the first time in days. Maya let me cry until I had no tears left. "You're not going back there," Maya said firmly. "I don't care what you have to do. You're not going back to that man or his psycho mother." "But I have nothing, Maya. No money, no plan. How am I supposed to take care of Amara?" I sobbed. "You have you. You have your daughter. And you have me. That's more than Derek ever gave you," Maya said. And in that moment, sitting in Maya's guest room with my newborn daughter, I made a decision. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to grovel. I was going to fight. I filed for divorce the next week. I filed for full custody of Amara. I filed for child support. I documented everything: the midnight eviction, Brenda's harassment, Derek's abandonment of his 3-week-old daughter. The lawyer looked at me and said, "You have a strong case. What Derek did is called constructive eviction and abandonment. Judges don't look kindly on fathers who throw out postpartum mothers with newborns." I felt something I hadn't felt in weeks: power. Derek didn't expect me to fight. Derek expected me to come crawling back, apologizing, begging to come home. That's what Brenda told Derek would happen. But when Derek got served with divorce papers and a custody notice, Derek panicked. Derek called me crying. "Jazz, please, let's talk. I made a mistake. Come home," Derek begged. "Is your mother still living there?" I asked. Silence. That's what I thought. "See you in court, Derek," I said, and hung up. For the first time since Amara was born, I felt like myself again. The court hearing was swift. My lawyer presented everything: text messages showing Derek and Brenda plans to kick me out, photos of me and Amara on that bench at midnight, medical records showing I was 3 weeks postpartum and still healing, testimony from Maya about the state Derek left us in. Derek's lawyer tried to argue Derek was just overwhelmed and made a mistake in judgment. The judge wasn't having it.
Mr. Jackson, you evicted your wife 3 weeks after she gave birth to your child at midnight with no money, no transportation, and nowhere to go? You chose your mother over your newborn daughter and the woman who just sacrificed her body to give you that child. This court finds your actions reprehensible. I got full custody. Derek got supervised visitation only because the judge didn't trust Derek to prioritize Amara over Brenda. Derek got ordered to pay child support, alimony, and my legal fees. The house, my house, was awarded to me in the divorce settlement. Brenda was banned from being present during any of Derek's supervised visits. When the judge read the orders, I looked over at Derek. Derek looked broken. Brenda looked furious. But I felt nothing but relief. Derek lost everything because Derek couldn't stand up to his mother. And I gained everything because I stood up for my daughter.
Healing took time. I went to therapy. I processed the trauma of being abandoned at my most vulnerable. I learned that Derek's betrayal wasn't about me being inadequate. It was about Derek being weak. I moved back into my house. I removed every trace of Derek and Brenda. I repainted, I redecorated, I made it ours, mine and Amara's. I learned how to be a single mother. It was hard. Some days I cried from exhaustion. Some days I missed having a partner. Not Derek, just someone who actually showed up. But I also learned I was stronger than I ever imagined. I could work, mother, heal, and build a life all at once. I didn't need Derek. I never did. Amara and I created our own little family, just the two of us, and it was peaceful. It was safe. It was full of real love. Maya helped when I needed it. My own mother, who I'd reconnected with after years of distance, showed up in ways Derek never did. And slowly, I stopped being the girl who got kicked out at midnight. I became the woman who survived, who fought back, who built something beautiful from the ashes. 6 months after the divorce was finalized, I saw Derek at a park. I was there with Amara. Derek was alone. Derek tried to approach me. "Jas, she's gotten so big. Can we talk?" I looked at Derek, really looked at him. Derek looked tired. Derek looked regretful. Derek looked like someone who'd thrown away everything and finally realized it. "You can talk to your daughter during your supervised visits, Derek. You and I have nothing to discuss," I said calmly. "I made a mistake, Jas. The biggest mistake of my life. My mom, she was wrong. I was wrong. I want my family back," Derek said desperately. "We're not your family anymore, Derek. Amara is your daughter, but she and we're our own family now. You chose your mother over us. You threw us out at midnight. You showed me exactly who you are. I believe you now," I said. Derek's eyes filled with tears. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." "I know you are, Derek, but sorry doesn't undo what you did. Sorry doesn't give me back those 3 weeks. Sorry doesn't erase the fear Amara and I felt that night. Sorry isn't enough." I turned and walked away. Derek called after me, but I didn't look back.